Oops, there we go. Mic check, 1, 2. Good. I was about to say good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. We've been doing this now for, I think, 91 days in a row. It's a lot. Can't believe I've been doing this daily for this long at this point. It's nice to see everyone. It's nice to see everyone in chat here. It's nice to have people showing up, being accountable. Why is my thing a little different? Okay, we'll stick to that one. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Nice to see everyone in here. So, today's topic, losing weight quick is great, but keeping it off is even better. And I say that as somebody who is 717 days into his journey. I lost the weight quickly. That's an awesome feeling, to be able to lose weight quickly. I think many of us who are in here maybe initially came in here looking for a quick fix, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're able to push. If you're able to push along fast, go for it. But after you have that motivation to push hard and do what you have to do, can you keep it off? Can you keep progressing on your journey? That's the hard part. And for me to be able to do it almost 2 years at this point, it's amazing, because I really never thought I would see myself in this type of place today. I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. It's a cold day here in Chicago. I woke up this morning and it said it felt like it was 30 something, and I layered up and I went for my walk, and I did it in the dark because it was like 6 in the morning and the sun still wasn't up. And as I was going for my walk, I was like, this is my routine. This is what I'm going to do. Sometimes you have to prepare for those elements. Sometimes even going for a walk in the morning while everyone else is asleep, there's just something about knowing that I'm putting in the work that is beneficial for me, that makes me feel like, yeah, I'm doing good for myself. I don't know. Things motivate us in different ways, and that's how it was for me this morning, despite how cold it was. And I guess in the same respect, I'm moving to a country where the high right now is 92. So I'm like, you only got a little more of this cold weather before you get to say goodbye to it. Anyway, let me go ahead. I'm going to say hi to everyone in here in chat before it gets a little too long for me to say hi to everyone. For the Good, Elmadas, Ian, Maggie, May, Kevin, Miss Peaceful One, hello, how are you all? Who else is in here? Happy Bunny, Mandla, Sleck, peace to all. Deja, welcome. Aisha, how are you? Lynn, Sid, Tommy, Randall. I just saw Miss Peaceful One just donate, but I'm trying to get down to say hi to everyone first. I think I lost my place. GYSD, Blue Ocean, hello. Cap Rising, how are you? Ashna, welcome. Shauna, how's it going? Chill Vibe. Lucy, hello. Margaret from Facebook, it's always nice to see you. Ronnie, how are you? K Betters, Afia, hello. L, I see you in chat. JC Skate, welcome. Is that everyone? Judy, hello. Leanne, hello. I think that's everyone. AH, hello. And before I continue, Miss Peaceful One with a early support with a $5 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the support as always. I feel like I say the same thing every single time, but it is always appreciated. Miss Peaceful One with a $5 super chat says, hi fam, many of us are doing a 3-day fast from 10:28 to 10:30. If you're down, please hold yourself accountable and show up. Let's go. Hashtag fasting fam. I love, okay, number one is the fact that Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the $5 super chat, but took the opportunity to put a super chat out here and is now working on a community goal. This isn't even me saying, let's do one. This is Miss Peaceful One putting it up there and saying, no, let's bring this to attention. Does anybody want to join? Share now. Be part of it. Hold yourself accountable, just like what Miss Peaceful One said, from 10:28 from 10:28 to 10:30. Actually, I should look at my calendar and see if I will join in on that, because what is that? That'll be a 65-ish hour fast for me. I'll have to take a look at my calendar. But if anybody's interested in doing this, here's the time to do it. Chime in. Be like, hey, I'm in. Let's do it together. And remember, if any of you participate in this, even if you don't fast all 3 days, even if you don't, show up anyway. Share with us. Be like, I attempted it. This is how far I got. This is where I'm at. I love that you took some time, Miss Peaceful One, to do a super chat and put a challenge out there. This is a new one. I like it. I like it. Thank you again for the $5 super chat. I love that. That's great. How did this come to be? I don't even know. All of you in here talking in chat. So I love it. I love it. Healthy Lifestyle, Melly Mel, welcome. K Worshipper, nice to see you in here. Tree, hello, hello. Megan, how's it going? So many people in here. So this is an accountability live stream. Just like Miss Peaceful One was putting a challenge out there, this is an opportunity for you to be accountable. And what does it mean to be accountable? Does it mean that you just come in here and tell us when you're fasting and how good everything's going? No, this is also an opportunity for you to tell us if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time, if something's on your mind, if you're having a hiccup. This accountability live stream is a place for me to share all of that. I share where my weight is at, where my fasting protocol is at, what I'm eating, how I'm feeling, whether I'm doing good or whether I'm struggling. If I gained 7 pounds after a refeed and I have to still stand up and show you what I look like, because that accountability has really proven to be successful for me. That accountability to show up every day, whether good or bad, has, at least for me, proven successful in terms of continuing to get the weight down on the scale, continuing to lose excess body fat, continuing to add muscle, continuing to be better about the way I eat. It's really changed my mindset. That is the importance of accountability in what I'm doing. And so for many of you who are in here right now, look at chat. Look at what people are sharing. People are being accountable. That accountability has allowed them to come back day in and day out and be like, I can share this, whether good or bad. It's helpful for me. So if this is something that you've never done before, take the opportunity to share in chat. Let us know how you're doing. And I'm going to take some time right now and go through that. For the Good says, hey all, broke a 42-hour fast this morning. Congrats on your 42 for the Good. Had a nice clean refeed. Going to eat one more small meal in about an hour or so, and then closing my eating window until Friday or Saturday, and then pushing through another fast. Happy fasting, everyone. Somebody dropped something above me. For the Good, thank you for sharing with us. Almada says, hi, everyone. Day 19, I lost 2.1 kg from when I started. Overall, I'm quite happy. I even managed to walk my 10,000 steps today. Congrats on 19 days of accountability. Congrats on not starting over. Congrats on not just throwing away the day and saying, I'll just wait till Monday. But instead, you're 19 days in, you're down 2.1 kg. You're working on all your weight loss levers, getting your steps in. Almada says, today I won't be able to follow the live. Have a great time. Thank you, Almada, for the kind words. But this is what I also mean about accountability. Almada says, just showing up is so important. Also, trust the process. Lesson learned. And I see this now from people who are in here every day. They're like, Hey, today is day such and such. Hey, I'm here again today. Hey, here's where I'm at. Hey, here is where my progress is at. Sometimes that's all it takes. Stop beating yourself up because you didn't fast one particular fast that long. Stop beating yourself up and throwing away the day because maybe you overate. We don't have to start over. We just have to pick up where we left off and keep pushing forward. That's really what is going to change what you're doing, trying to fix your habits. GYSD with a $5 super chat. GYSD, thank you for the support. Thank you for your continued support as well. GYSD says, after listening to the J King and all, such a thank you for the kind words. Discussing routine, I gave notice yesterday. I'm done with the night shift. Oh, committed through February, but can't wait. Wow. So here is, and for people who might be a little confused, GYSD does work the night shift and had mentioned, I believe it was yesterday, right? Mentioned how sometimes working the night shift throws them off. It makes it hard for them to maybe stay in a fasted state. It messes with their sleep. It gets them off their routine. And look at GYSD working on a different weight loss lever here, because this is the importance of something outside of just fasting. This is also working on just your daily life, your health and happiness in general, prioritizing health over maybe some of the other things here. I love this for you, GYSD. I mean, you still have through February, but it also doesn't mean that from now until February, you're going to be doing nothing, right? And I know you know that, but I love that you are figuring things out. You're in it for the long run. Congrats to you on making a big life change and getting back into a regular routine. I'm excited for you. It doesn't mean that you still can't put a routine together right now. I know you can, but I'm guessing that this will even benefit you more. Thank you, GYSD, for the $5 super chat. Thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate the support. Okay, I think I lost my place because of GYSD's donation. Ian says, I broke my fast at 19 hours, up another pound on the scale. I think it's due to 3 days of constipation. Took some Senna earlier. Is Senna something to help with that? I'm guessing so. So hopefully that fixes the problem. Ian says, I refed on leftover beef stew and mashed potatoes. I think I've had too many potatoes over the last few days, so I'll be cutting down a bit for the rest of the week. So even with where Ian is at, 19 hours fasted, up a little bit on the scale. First of all, being up 1 pound isn't the end of the world. Weight is going to fluctuate. It's going to move up and down. It's not always going to stay at a consistent number. It's not always going to be a downward trajectory every single day. And as much as many of us know that, I say it as a reminder. So Ian, first of all, hopefully you don't beat yourself up about that. And you're right. It also could be because if you haven't had a bowel movement, it's just the food that's still in your body. But are you continuing to put yourself at a caloric deficit? Are you continuing to put some time away from food through fasting? Are you continuing to work on your other weight loss levers? And I know you are, and I know you're showing up. And even as Ian says that, he's talking about making some modifications to his diet and trying to work on that as well to keep the progress going, to keep pushing forward. I love that for you, Ian. I mean, when I say I love that for you, I'm talking about all the good habits you're working on. Of course, seeing the weight on the scale push up a little bit instead of push down is always frustrating, but hopefully it isn't putting too much of a strain on your mental when it comes to that. So I appreciate you sharing with us, Ian. Maggie says, broke my fast at 20 hours, refeed on chaffles? What's a chaffle? Do I have to Google what a chaffle is? I have no idea. Chaffle. Ah, waffles made with only eggs and cheese. How does that taste? That's a keto version? Sounds good. I'm also hungry because I'm fasted at the moment. But congrats, Maggie, on your 20-hour fast. And then I'll just hit my timer for my next OMAD. Thank you for sharing with us, Maggie. Enjoy your chaffles. Is that how you pronounce it? Chaffles? Thank you for sharing. Kevin says, morning fasting fam, 86 hours. Congrats, Kevin, into a 155-hour fast. Blood glucose at 86, ketones at 1.3. Love it. I'm in a fat burning state on a Wednesday. This is shaping up to be a good week for the scale. Keep us posted, Kevin. And remember, it's not just the number on the scale. You know you're doing good things. You know you're putting yourself at a big enough deficit, literally eating 0 calories to get excess body fat off of you. So you know that progress is going to continue. Kudos to you, Kevin. Keep us posted as always. Appreciate you sharing. Miss Peaceful One says, I ended my last fast at 50 hours and hit the timer. Congrats on 50 hours. Miss Peaceful One has a slew of different fasts. Miss Peaceful One, the way I look at it, does a very flexible fasting type routine where sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but always hitting the timer, always pushing again. I'm aiming for 72 hours this time around. However, we'll see what my body says. Keep us posted, Miss Peaceful One. And I mean, I know that in a couple of days but maybe the community will participate in that 3-day fast as well. So I look forward to seeing what that looks like. Maybe I'll see if I can maybe try to put something together when it comes to that. Congrats on the 50 hours, Miss Peaceful One. I love that for you. Look forward to seeing what I always say that. Look forward to seeing what your journey continues. I'm saying the same things. Anyway, you know where I'm going with that. Miss Peaceful One is always showing up, so I know I'm always going to get an update from her. Okay. Happy Bunny says, hi guys, it's day 25. Congrats on 25 days in, Happy Bunny. I managed to get my workout in today. Congrats on another day of working out. I've been keeping my nerd stats and schmoving right along. I love that for you. I'm going on a mini vacation soon. A little worried it might set me back. I don't want to lose my momentum that has felt like moving a mountain. First of all, Happy Bunny, when it comes to your success, congrats again. You've done so much. You've proven it to yourself. You have done it yourself. Of course, you're here, you're showing accountability, and I'm sure that's motivating. But don't forget, all of this is still on you doing what you need to do for yourself. Don't lose sight of your successes and what you have started to hardwire in your brain, working on good habits. When it comes to a mini vacation, you also have to look at it like this. This vacation that you're going on is practice for you. This is an opportunity for you to now live life outside of your typical routine and see how you deal with it, whether good or bad. The only thing that you need to remind yourself is that you do not walk away from it. If you are in a routine of hitting your timer, stopping the timer when you eat, starting it again when you fast, continue to do that. So what if the fast is shorter? So what if your refeed is longer? Be mindful of that. You can still eat what you want and enjoy your vacation, but put some mindfulness into it. Still pay attention to, okay, I want to eat this. This sounds really good, but do I need to eat all of it? Can I still make a healthy choice here and there? Can I still get some steps in? Can I still get a good night's sleep? I've told myself this on vacation days or even weeks, that weight gain, especially on vacation, is going to be something that happens. I cannot leave vacation without losing additional weight. It just doesn't happen. I'm okay with that. I've given myself grace with that. It's one of the reasons I give 20% days that I allot for or allocate for specific moments like that. I don't know exactly when you said you're going to be going, but you'll have to keep us posted and let us know. My only advice for you is when you do go on vacation, if you're not able to be here, that when you do come back, you let us know how it went. Maybe that accountability, knowing that you still have to share with others, might be enough to maybe keep you more on track than the opposite of that. Mandla says, hey guys, I broke my fast at 42 hours. Congrats on your 42 and had my planned refeed. Just restarted the timer for another 42 hour. I'm now down 15 pounds, 7 kg, almost 7 kg. Congrats, Mandla, on all the success, on what you've been doing. I love this for you. Want to push harder as the month end approaches. Look at all these amazing stories that people are sharing. It's so nice to hear people being able to do this, not having to buy into some kind of gimmick, not having to spend a ton of money, just working on their habits, realizing, oh, all I had to do was show up. All I had to do was just show up for myself and be here and work on my goals. Mandla, thank you for sharing with us. I love that for you. I love that success. I really do. Deja says, disappointed today. I was going to start a long fast, had a bad night, was up until 2:30 in the morning with the kids and feel sick today. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're not feeling too sick. Hopefully just something that might be in and out. I just needed to fuel myself, so had a meal of eggs, steak, and a small coffee. Got my game plan ready for tomorrow after I rest up and get some energy back today. I have goals to hit, but I have to remind myself to give myself grace, even though it can be frustrating. And remember, Deja, all of us go through this. Just like Happy Bunny was talking about going on vacation, this is also part of life. How many people in here have kids and have to deal with something like this? When a kid gets sick or when you get sick, how many of us have been into this situation and then said, well, I guess I can't do anything anymore. I might as well just order whatever, takeout, you know what I mean, and just give up completely. But Deja, as disappointed as you say you are, it also looks like that you are dealing with your kids and feeling sick, but even your refeed looks clean. It doesn't look like your refeed was just, well, now I'm just going to eat McDonald's or go to whatever place. And I'm not saying anybody who's watching this, they might say, so you're saying I can't eat? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Deja is in here sharing the accountability. And despite what I'm reading and despite Deja feeling a little disappointed, I still look at this as wins in here. Remember, even for people to just share their story, even if it isn't, even when they're struggling, even when they overeat, even if they didn't fast for as long as they could, I look at this as mindfulness, awareness of what you're doing, instead of just completely throwing everything out the door, out the window, right? It's out the window, not out the door, or maybe both. So despite that, Deja, I know you're going to come back. I know you're going to share with us. You're going to keep us posted. So thank you for that accountability. It's important to share that accountability, and I appreciate you sharing that with everyone in here. Aisha says, I'm nearly 165 hours fasted. I'm down another 2 pounds. My morning weight today is 180. You are knocking into the 170s, Aisha. I also released 30 pounds in 28 days. Congratulations on that success. That's amazing. I'm refeeding later today after my doctor's appointment. Congrats, Aisha. Enjoy your refeed today. Hopefully it's what you were expecting. Congrats again on not just on all your accomplishments, because for people who might be new, Aisha went through pretty much a 50-day fast, 7 weeks, and then had, I don't want to call it a stumble, right? But like Aisha had some other personal things that she dealt with. And again, I'm not going to go into the details of that, right? But I don't know if it's necessarily considered a setback, but you showed up, you came back. And instead of doing another 50-day fast, was like, okay, I can still work on other things. I can do shorter fasts. I can keep working on myself. So thank you for sharing with us, Aisha. Speaking of long fasts, Sid is 11 days fasted at this point. Sid, congrats on such a long fast. Day 11 of a 30-day water. Just got back from a walk, losing about a pound a day now. I've set up a 4-day vacation at Lake Tahoe at the end of it to give myself some more motivation. I love you all. Sid, congrats on being 11 days in. How was I going to say it? It's great to have something like a vacation to go on to kind of motivate you to keep pushing forward. So keep us posted, Sid. Like I said, or like I say every day, whether it's 30 days or not, this is already a huge success. You've already done amazing work. And no matter what happens, you know what the next steps look like moving forward. It's a refeed. It's hitting the timer and it's going again. So thank you for sharing with us, Sid. And amazing work on 11 days in. I was like, wait, what? I was like, how do I pronounce this? That's actually new. I've never seen that before. Tommy says, sup, Chicago. I love that. Sup, Chicago and my fasting peeps. Well, I weighed in this morning, down 2 pounds, but I'm just not in a good place right now to enjoy it. I'm struggling mentally and I don't know what to do. I've been praying and hopefully soon this too shall pass. I just want to feel better as a person. But I appreciate you and the fam for all the support. Hashtag pray for your boy. Tommy, this is exactly the place for all of this. This is anybody who's watching this right now. Yes, this is an accountability live stream where we share the good and the bad. And here is a completely different example. This is Tommy sharing the success of being down 2 pounds, but also mentally right now is maybe having a hard time. Sometimes even being down in weight might not be motivating enough to push harder or to continue pushing. And whatever it is that you're going through right now, Tommy, because I know Tommy's been through quite a bit, but whatever you're going through right now, like you said, it will pass. And I've had this conversation with people I'm close to as well. And here's the thing is I'm leaving soon. I'm moving out of the country and it is affecting some people that I'm close with. And sometimes those moments are difficult. And with anything in life, the way I look at it is control what you can control. The same goes for you, Tommy, is you control your health. You control what you put in your body. You control how good your sleep is, what your exercise looks like, how you take care of yourself. And so maybe the only other thing I can at least pass along to you, Tommy, is prioritize you. Take care of you. Do the best you can for you and realize there's only so much you control. There's only so much you can control when it comes to other outside factors. I know it's easier said than done, but hopefully that's just a little bit encouragement for you to just keep taking care of you. So thank you for sharing with us, Tommy. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to read through a couple more in here. Just see if other people have, or other people I haven't been able to read comments on. GYSD says, catching up on yesterday while waiting, crossing legs. So we talked yesterday about, actually, as I'm talking right now, as I'm sitting right now, oh, you can't see it. I was like, this thing is still here. I'm currently sitting cross-legged. But as GYSD says, catching up on yesterday while waiting, crossing legs, non-scale victory. And I said this yesterday, I didn't even realize this until, and I can't remember who brought this up. I could never cross my legs before. And I'm sitting here right now. I've been sitting here right now, sitting like this with my legs crossed. And that's a non-scale victory for many people, for me as well. To sit on a train and cross my legs and not take up space next to me so somebody could sit there, that's big. Sitting on a plane and not being in somebody's space is big versus where I used to be. I know I'm short. I know I'm only 5'3", but when I weighed 235, I took up a lot of space. And so that is definitely a non-scale victory. So GYSD says, crossing legs non-scale victory caused me to have foot drop, Slimmer's palsy last year times 3 months. Very interesting side effect of fat loss. What is a Slimmer's palsy? Foot drop. I don't know what any of that is. I have to Google this now that I have Chaffle put up here. Is a type of nerve damage to the common peroneal nerve that occurs after rapid weight loss. It's caused of the protective fat pad around. I'll read more into it. I don't know exactly what that is. I've never heard of it. I'll read into it. But thank you for sharing with us, GYSD. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to read a couple more because I do have, just FYI, I do have a hard stop today because I have other work to do that I'm behind on. I do have my refeed video from yesterday that I will be posting up as well. So I want to make sure I can try to get everything I need to in here. Ashna says, my weight isn't going down. I'm doing OMAD from 1 year. I want to lose 10 kg. What kind of fast should I do as my, do you say something else here? I'm not sure. I don't see another thing in here. Ashna, if your weight isn't going down doing OMAD, then what you need to ask yourself is, how clean is your diet? Are you overeating on your OMAD? Are you eating more than your typical average calories that you're burning per day? And only you know this answer. And if you're saying, yeah, I probably am eating way more than I used to, then you know where that needs to be fixed. 1, you either clean up the diet, or 2, you fast for longer. And here's the thing. If you're watching this, if you're still here and you're like, well, I know I'm eating less calories, I would then at least advise you to really take a look at what you're eating and make sure that there isn't hidden additional calories in it. If you're ordering delivery or somebody's cooking for you, are they adding extra oil in it, butter in it, or other things that are just heavier in calories? And I'm not saying you have to cut any of that out, because I cook with butter. I put butter in my corn. I put oil in my vegetables and the meat I cook. But I'm just saying you have to be very diligent sometimes about the calories you're consuming, especially if you're eating every single day. So what kind of fast you should do? Fast for as long as you can, as long as you healthily can. You could do ADF, you could do a 72, you could do a 90, you could do a mix of that. You could still do OMAD. Maybe you could do OMAD 4 days a week, and then the other 3 days or other 3 times you're doing something longer. Be flexible with it, Ashna. Don't stick to just one specific fast. Do what works for you. Keep messing around with it. Keep working on your other weight loss levers outside of just fasting as well. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. Sorry, everyone. If you see me pausing, it's because I'm just looking at chat. JC, you know what, JC? I was reading chat after my live stream yesterday. I think you had talked about how you had a really big refeed. I think you had 6,000 calories. Was that yesterday? I think you did. And I know you were talking about putting yourself on a fast, but like, here's the thing. JC talked about having a very big refeed recently and now is sharing, hey, I'm at 2,000 calories right now, keeping it in check, 90 grams of fiber, keeping fiber high, doing an hour of cardio. Is that cardio you skateboarding, JC? That's my assumption, obviously, but I just love that JC shares where they're at and what they're doing. So I love that for you, JC. Thank you for sharing with us. You're very welcome, Afia. It's nice to see you here. Afia, I also know you're part of the Wednesday groups now. So will you be joining us later today? If anyone's wondering what I'm talking about, we will have a live stream later today. I believe we're going to have it at around 4:30 p.m. Central. I have another coaching session and I have other work to finish prior to that, but we will have a group coaching session at 4:30. Hopefully I'll see my autophagy members there. Leanne says, refed after a 36-hour fast today. Wasn't the best refeed today. Meals were healthy, but I ate too many unhealthy treats, but hit the timer again and trusting the process. So Leanne, a lot of great things here. You did a 36-hour fast. You refed. You did eat healthy, but you ate a lot or more unhealthy-ish foods. That's me. That was me on my last refeed. I shared the exact same thing. But here is you, number one, sharing that accountability. Look at all the other wins outside of that. You're hitting the timer and you're trusting the process and you're going again. If anything, Leanne, that refeed you had, that's a moment for you to now think about how you ate, what you ate, how you can maybe make that better the next time around. And even the next time around, even if it isn't better, continue to keep your mental notes. Continue to learn from what you're doing. Ask yourself, why does this keep happening? I ask myself the same thing with those damn Biscoff cookies I keep eating. I don't even have an answer right now. All I know is I can't keep eating 6 packs of Biscoffs every refeed. I mean, I guess I could because the weight is still going down, but that's a different story. That's more of a mental thing for me. Thank you for sharing with us, Leanne. All right, everyone. I am continuing to scroll down here. I am trying to read a couple more before I get into the nerd stats because I know I'm on a time crunch here, but we're already 40 minutes into it. Peace to all says, took my last antibiotic capsule this morning, hosting my granddaughter's 18th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to your granddaughter. Peace to all. So we'll be hitting the fasting button after the party and I'm off to the fasting races. I'm glad that you continue to show up. Peace to all. And for you to even be on antibiotics, and I know other people have been in this situation too. Sometimes I'll be in a coaching session and it'll be like, Jerome, I have to be on antibiotics for a week. I can't fast long. I have to eat 3 times a day. And my response to that is like, okay, well then you got to eat if you have to eat. But maybe you can keep the calories in check. Maybe you can eat cleaner. Maybe because you're eating extra, you can go for a longer walk. You can go lift weights at the gym. But it looks like Peace to All is ready to get back on a fasting routine. So you'll have to keep us posted, Peace to All. And again, happy birthday to your granddaughter. Steph says, yes, I fasted for 50 hours, ate super clean, working on other weight loss levers outside of fasting, eating super clean as well. Today, I fasted 14 and a half hours before I devoured sweet peppers, back to fasting for another 6 hours. Actually, this is really good to see here because Steph, congrats on a 50-hour fast. But here is somebody who is doing a 50-hour fast, then fasted for 14 and a half hours and isn't beating themselves up for it. Is saying, okay, I'm breaking right now. I had a long fast prior. Not every fast has to be as long as the last one. This is somebody here who is flexibly fasting. Thank you for sharing with us, Steph. Elle says, I'm attempting ADF for today. So far, so good, but I'm working till 9. They're serving chicken parm for dinner. Stay strong, Elle. Stay strong. Regardless, if you end up having it, Maybe it means having something healthy prior to chicken parm so that maybe you don't eat too much chicken parm. I mean, there are other tactics, but I know the real goal is to get through the ADF. So you'll have to keep us posted, Elle. Thank you for sharing with us. Priceman 5 says, in the middle of a 36-hour fast while training. Keep us posted, Priceman 5. How's that 36 feeling? Hopefully it's good. Lucy says, a year or two ago, a 16-hour fast seemed impossible. Then I progressed to OMAD for a while, currently doing 36-hour fasts, which I'm struggling through each time. I'm intimidated by 72 hours, but maybe doing it was there no other thing after that? Oh, with others. It was right below it. Will get me over the hurdle. So here's the thing about this too. This is building your fasting muscle. This is somebody who has practiced fasting at different lengths and building that muscle. Remember, not everyone is going to just get a 5, 7, 10 day under their belt cold turkey. Some people have been able to do it. I was able to do it. My first fast, my first prolonged fast, cold turkey, it was either 11 or 12 days. I cannot remember the number right now, or I haven't in a while. I have to double check what that number was. But some people have to build up to it. Lucy, perfect example. A year or two ago, 16 hours felt impossible. How many of you had felt the same way? Doing a fast that was 20 hours seemed impossible, but then progressed to OMAD, built, worked on the fasting muscle, continued trying, currently doing 36-hour fast, which I'm struggling through each time. But that's how you build that fasting muscle. And it also doesn't mean that just because you do it once means that you have to do it again and again and again. It also doesn't mean that just because you did a long fast before means that you should be able to do another one every time. I think a lot of people get into this, it's a mind thing. Sometimes you might be like, I did a 90-hour fast, so that means I'm capable of doing another 90-hour fast right now. When in reality, that's not the case for everyone. It's not always going to be like that. There are a lot of other factors that play into that. Lucy, thank you for sharing with us. And I love that you're continuing to work on your fasting muscle. Sarah from Facebook says, hi, Jerome, you're looking great. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourself and us. You're very welcome. I mean, it's helpful for me as well. I keep doing OMAD, ADF, and longer fasts if I can get my sugar cravings under control. I'm working out at the gym every day and or walking daily. I know exercising helps me with my mental health a lot. I love this for you, Sarah, because you know where your hardest issues are. Very similar to me, the diet, keeping the foods under control. But you can still work on things outside of that, and you're absolutely doing that. I love that you're prioritizing yourself. You're working on cardio. You're working on working out. Exercise, even for me, it's one of the reasons I do it first thing in the morning. It sets the tone for the day. Working out for me, going for a walk first thing in the morning sets the tone for the day. It encourages me to continue on my fast. It encourages me to get shit done. So thank you for sharing that with us, Sarah. Lisa says, how do you deal with slowed down weight loss / plateaus? I've been doing ADF for about 10 weeks and now my weight loss is starting to slow down. Lisa, hi, Lisa. I don't know if you've been in here before, but I'll just say this, just so you and I, right? So you and I can relate in this way. I've been on this journey now for 717 days. It's almost been 2 years. 13 more days will be 2 years into this journey. I've been stuck around the 140-pound mark now for God knows how long, because I was 138 back in March or April of 2024. My weight is starting to push itself down at this point, but I also know my body composition has changed. I've also stopped looking at the scale because I initially always looked at the scale as the only measure of success. And so with where you're at right now, you've been doing ADF for about 10 weeks. That's great. Congratulations on consistency and really pushing through. When you talk about your weight loss starting to slow down, is it slowing down because your refeeds are too big? I'm also wondering though, what else are you working on? Are you working on maintaining your muscle? Are you working on building muscle? Is that important to you? Because if the answer to that is no, I'm going to tell you right now, it might be time to start paying attention to that as well. Because if you're just obsessed about a number on the scale and getting to a certain number, does that really matter if the dress or the shirt or the pair of jeans or whatever it might be that you want to wear isn't fitting you properly? Maybe the real goal is to make sure that you are continuing to lose excess body fat. Because the one thing I've noticed about myself is even though my weight has stayed relatively the same for the last year plus, my body composition is completely different. I have a lot more muscle today than what I had a year plus ago, or at least I think I do, just based on how I see myself. I guess I'll really know next week or 2 weeks from now when I get my DEXA scan done. But if you're really dealing with weight loss and a plateau, I would start looking into what your diet looks like, if it needs to be cleaned up even more, or if it means fasting longer, which might not be the answer for a lot of people. Sometimes the thought of adding an extra day into their fast, and I'm not saying every single fast, but maybe if you're doing ADF, maybe once every other week or once every 3 weeks or once a month, you throw a 65, a 70-ish hour fast in there. You don't have to. Maybe what you have to do instead then is keep the diet cleaner. Or maybe it means starting to incorporate strength training, because here's the thing that a lot of people miss as well. When you strength train, when you build muscle, you are increasing your metabolism. You are helping your body burn more calories, doing absolutely nothing by just having more muscle on you. So keep that into consideration. I appreciate the question though, Lisa. Hopefully that's helpful. GYSD with another $10 donation. GYSD, thank you for the support. Thank you for the $10 donation. GYSD says closest amount to Super Chat to celebrate my 888th day of a fasting lifestyle. I got to goal at 120 pounds, down 92 pounds in 8 months. Now 10 pounds up from goal. GYSD, thank you for the $10 Super Chat, and congrats to you on being this far out on your journey. This is somebody who has continued to work on themselves. I love this for you, GYSD. I love that you've gotten to your goal. You're still working on yourself. And this is actually a really good reminder that the journey doesn't end. The journey is always continuing. This is also why you'll never see me say day one ever again, because I know that I can't just give up on myself. For anybody in here as well, don't give up on yourselves. Look at GYSD saying 888. That's more than me. Just continuing on, just continuing to work. I love that for you, GYSD. And again, thank you for the additional $10 Super Chat. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. I need to get into the nerd stats because we're really cutting into time here. If I missed any specific chats, if I missed any questions, please feel free to share it again. I will try to read what I can. I'll try to share or post things up as I am giving my nerd stats, but actually I'm going to bring this up because now I'm at the very bottom here. Kelly says, building muscle while fasting. Is it even possible while fasting? I'm sick of hearing about protein. I mean, here's the thing, Kelly, and I don't know if I've seen you in here, Kelly, or if I've seen you in here before, Kelly, but is it even possible while fasting? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not trying to show off in any way, but if you're looking at me right now, does it look like I work out? I mean, maybe I don't, but I look at myself right now and I feel pretty, not only lean, but I feel like I have broader shoulders than where I used to be. My chest is broader. Like even when, like I'm right. And I'm not trying to show off in that way, but like what I'm trying to say is I fast. I've been fasting for over 2 or almost 2 years at this point. My average fast at this point is around a 2-day fast on average for the last 2 years. So if there's anybody that can give you proof of that, that's me. Now, I'm not saying that like until you see my DEXA scan. Well, and here's the thing, right? I had a DEXA scan done November 6, 2024. And I weighed 145 pounds then, and it said that I had 111 pounds of lean mass. And I was at like 19.9% body fat, right? And hopefully that number has changed. Hopefully now I have more muscle and I have less body fat, because right now I'm around the same weight. I guess I'm just trying to say that it is possible. So Kelly says, that's the thing you do. I'm 56. I do great fasting. I guess maybe you're feeling a little frustrated that the weight isn't, or you don't see yourself putting on muscle per se. And that's the thing as well. The older we get, the harder it is to keep muscle as well as put it on. I don't know what your routine looks like. I don't know if you know the term progressive overload, but that is something that I practice. I am always going to the gym and I'm always lifting a little heavier, but I'm also making sure my form is good. I do prioritize my protein in that way. And I'm not saying you have to take down gobs and gobs of protein, especially if you are eating regularly, but I don't know. You know what, Kelly? Like if you ever want to have a bigger discussion about it, and I see people in chat already helping, but if you ever want to reach out to me, feel free to reach out to me. Maybe we can have a conversation about that and see where you're at. Hopefully that's helpful in that way. I guess to answer the question you did ask, I do believe it is possible to gain muscle while you're fasting, even in a fasted state. So I would also just say, don't be frustrated. I get the frustration, but maybe it just means a little more attention, a little more practice on the other weight loss levers. Another question for you too is, how good is your sleep? Because rest and recovery is really, really important as well when it comes to building muscle, when it comes to changing your body composition. Miss Peaceful One with a $2 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, you're so support. Thank you for the support as always. I know Miss Peaceful One can just put this in chat, but supports in this way. You have worked your butt off. Flex one more. I'll do another flex at FitCheck. Miss Peaceful One, thank you. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, we're going to get into nerd stats now. I don't have a lot of time at this point. I did spend a lot of time trying to get to everyone in here. And so I'm going to maybe rush through this a little bit. Today is day 717 of my journey. I've been doing this for almost 2 years. Here's the big takeaway doing this for 717 days is that it hasn't been perfect for 717 days. If you are thinking about working on your journey, if you're thinking about starting, the first thing that you should be telling yourself right now is it's not going to be perfect and it's okay. And instead, can I show up for myself on day 7, on day 23, on day 368? Can you show up for yourself every single day? The one thing that I have noticed with people I work with, the one thing I've noticed about myself is that, yes, you will have good days. You will have hard days where you push and you do what you have to do. And you will also have bad days. And on those bad days is when you need to show up the most. I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with where if they have a bad day, if they're not doing what they should be doing, they will cancel a coaching session with me. They will reschedule an appointment. They will, and I don't want to sit here and say people are just making excuses, but sometimes I've been there. I will make excuses. I'll make excuses for why I can't do something. I will keep kicking the can down the road instead of learning and accepting the fact that, hey, today was a hard day, but it's okay. L just donated a $3 super sticker. Elle, I don't know what that super sticker looks like just yet, but I will take a look at it later today. Elle, thank you for your support as always. I appreciate you, Elle. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $3 super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. So remember, 717 days, but it hasn't been perfect. Yes, there have been a lot more good days than bad days, but that's why the results continue, because the good days outweigh the bad. And even on the bad days, those are the days I show up even harder to learn about myself. And yes, I have had bad days where I didn't show up. You all seen it when I gained almost 30 pounds back in July because I made the decision to move out of the country. I had all of these things on my plate and I let it get to me. And yes, those were days I didn't show up. And look at what happened when I didn't show up, when I didn't post, when I wasn't accountable. That's when the weight gained the most. That's when I slipped the most. Show up for yourself. Sometimes it's just as easy as that. And I know that it's possible because people in here in chat who continue to show up for themselves every single day are continuing to learn about themselves. In the last 91 days, as I've been doing these live streams, it is a mix of exactly what I'm saying. A mix of short fasts, long fasts, days where I'll eat 8,000 calories, sometimes even close to 10,000 calories, days where I have just a 23-hour fast, days where I do rounds of ADF, other days where I fast for 90 hours. But I still show up every day and I work on every weight loss lever that I have, whether it's fasting, eating, working out, sleeping, keeping my mental health good. In the last 716 days, because let's not forget, yes, I've been live streaming for the last 3 months, but I've been on this journey for a much longer time, almost 2 years into this journey. At the very beginning of this journey, I was averaging a 93-hour fast, nearly a 4-day fast. Over the last 716 days, my fasting average is now somewhere around 2 days. This is the evolution of my journey. Yours is also going to change. It's going to evolve. And the only way it will evolve is by you showing up. In my last 10 refeeds, you'll see some days under 3,000, some days over that, some days way over that, highlighted in yellow. But I am being aware of it. I'm still tracking calories in that way. I might not be tracking super diligently. And here's the thing about calories as well, because sometimes people will throw the argument about calories don't mean everything, and they don't. I agree with you. They don't. Calories aren't everything. Food choice is also a really big deal. Food reacts differently depending on what you eat. We know this. Me eating a Kit Kat versus me eating, I don't know, a chicken breast, obviously different. Me eating vegetables versus me eating a bag of Doritos, completely different. But I still track because it's still a guideline for me. I don't follow it like the Bible. I am not being as accurate as I can be. These are just rough estimates to give me direction in what I'm doing. What I cannot stand is when sometimes people get this in their head that there's only one way and why are you doing it like this? And why? It's like, listen, we all know that if you put 0 calories in your body, you're going to lose weight. There's still, while everything isn't exact, we all know that the less calories you ingest, the more weight you're going to lose because your body is expending more than it's taking in. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's a good guideline for me. If you look at my last 10 refeed weights and my last 10 fasted weights, well, if you look at the very bottom there, this morning I got up on the scale, I was 139.8 again. I broke back into the 130s. Now, here is why I look at this and I smile and I'm just like, I'm putting the work in. I broke back again into the 130s, but think about what happened before that. So a couple refeeds or a couple fasts ago, I hit my lowest weight at 139.4. And then I had 2 back-to-back eating days. One day I ate 2,200 calories, and then I fasted for only 23 hours. Then I ate 6,500 calories. And then I've only had 2 rounds of ADF since then, and I'm back into the 130s again. Because I trust the process. Because I don't just throw away the day after having a 6,500 calorie day. After a 6,500 calorie day, I didn't say, well, it's the weekend, I might as well eat another day. Instead, I got up, I went for my walk, I lifted weights, I got good sleep. Listen, everyone, all I'm doing is just doing the same thing every day. I tweak it here, I give myself a little grace there, I push hard on some other days, but nothing really changes. You've seen it. I've literally been showing you day after day. It doesn't take a ton of work. All it takes is just showing up for yourself. This is the first time I've hit the 130s this often now. I mean, it's only twice. But if you remember, if you were here 30 days ago, 60 days ago, I wasn't touching the 130s. I wasn't even touching the low 140s. I was somewhere in the mid 140s to the high 140s to the low 150s. A lot of this has changed over time. Refeed stats, somewhere around 4.5 to 5 hours, calories per refeed over 4,000, protein above 200. This is pretty normal as I've been showing these day after day. It is more than just fasting, obviously. My daily step average over the last 91 days is over 15,000 steps. Yesterday's step count, a little under 16,000. But I'm way above my goal at this point. Strength training the following morning after every refeed. I do go by the 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of the time I am keeping my calories in check. 80% of the time I'm fasting. 80% of the time I am getting my steps in. If you look at the last 91 days as I have been keeping this recorded, in the last 91 days, I have had 77 80% days. That's 85% of the time, everyone. That's even higher than the 80% I give myself. In the last 14 of 91 days, I have had 14 20% days. Those are days where I go out with friends, go on vacation, go grab drinks, go to a party. Look at the calories there, close to 6,000 calories. But the frequency of when that happens is so infrequent. In the last 3 months, that's about less than 5 times a month where I have 20% days. This is an opportunity for me to still enjoy days when I go out with friends and not feel guilty about it, not feel embarrassed, not feel ashamed. But it's also a reminder that, yes, you can have those days. You can have a Saturday like that, but Sunday doesn't have to be that way. And if it is a Sunday and a Saturday, well, you might as well mark it down and make sure you're not having too many of those days. Again, it's a balancing act with everything that we do. If you look at my goals for the month of October, this is to keep a pace of a 10,500 calorie deficit. I'm not aiming for a specific time of hours fasted. I'm not aiming for a specific number to be on the scale. Instead, I'm just making sure I'm at a big enough deficit to lose 3 pounds of body fat. If you look at the first week of October, anything highlighted in yellow means I was not on my calorie pace. All I'm trying to do for the month of October is to lose or be in a deficit of 339 calories every day. But you'll see every day that number increases. Every day that number increases in a deficit from 339 to 678 to 1017. What does that mean? That means that every day I have to make sure I'm putting myself at a deficit. If you see what's highlighted in green, that's where I'm above pace at that point. This is week number 1. You'll see 4 of those days I was not on pace where it's highlighted in yellow. Week number 2, I was on pace the majority of that week, but also some days I was not on pace. This is imperfect consistency where some days I will overeat and it will throw me off pace, which is why I have to be diligent about making sure that my diet is where it needs to be. Week 3, Yesterday was me completing my 3rd week. If you see here, again, the majority of this time I was on pace. That first yellow highlight was when I ate 6,500 calories, and it really threw me off pace there. But where I'm at right now, as of yesterday, I am down after completing a full day fasted. I am way above pace now. Of course, today it's going to throw me off again because I'm eating today, but hopefully I can keep the calories low enough to keep pushing forward and meet my goal by the end of October. And I have no doubt I'm going to hit that goal. I can say it with like 100% confidence that nothing is going to stop me, that I will hit that goal. Obviously, something might happen, but that's how strong, that's how confident I feel with where I'm at today. So those are my nerd stats. That's what I wanted to share with you all today. It's time for Fit Check. If you're not aware of what Fit Check is, that's where I stand back there and I show you what I look like physically. It's an opportunity for me to not hide when I have a very big eating day. How many of you have had a Saturday where you drank too much and you ate too much, and then Sunday you were supposed to meet people, but you don't want to see them because you feel bloated, you don't like the way you look? That's the reason I do Fit Check. I do it so that regardless if I feel bloated or lean, I want to be up here and share with you all, hey, I'm okay. I'm okay with the way I look. No shame about it. This is the way that things are. This is what happens when I eat this way. And if anything, it helps me to not turn one bad eating day into 2, into 3, into 7, or worse than that. Before I stand up there and do Fit Check for you, like I do every live stream here, I have been overweight my entire life, even as a child, even as people are sharing the Fit Check emoji right now with this specific one. I've been overweight since I was a little kid. Growing up as an adolescent, as a teenager with ridiculously bleached blonde hair, to my 20s, to my 30s, and even in my 40s. I have been overweight, obese, morbidly obese my entire life. And I share those photos because I want you to understand that I didn't just gain this weight recently. This has been a part of me my entire life. And I share those because I'm talking to you today with that weight off of me. Not only did I lose 80 pounds in less than 5 months, but I've kept it off now for almost 2 years. No medication, no injections, no Ozempic, no GLP-1, no Wegovy, no Zepbound, no Mounjaro, no weight loss surgery. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be on medication. I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider GLP-1. I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider weight loss surgery. You have to do what you have to do. You have to do what's best for you. I just share this because I like people to know that even though I am 44 years old and I have had the issue of being morbidly obese my entire life, I've lost that weight naturally. Not through any other means except through fasting and working on my good, healthy habits, through exercise, through good sleep, through taking care of the mental. If you feel like you are hopeless, if you feel like I'm never going to get this weight off, how am I ever going to get this weight off? I'm 33, I'm 42. Hey, me too. There's still hope, even if you might think there isn't. Maybe all it takes is being accountable and sharing your accountability, your honesty, and working on your good, healthy habits. So let's go ahead. We'll do Fit Check. I am currently wearing a very slim shirt. I found this company where they make very slim shirts, and so I'm wearing an extra small right now. These pants I'm wearing are boys' pants. These are, I can't remember the size. Why do I wear boys' pants or boys' clothes? It's because I'm short. I'm only 5'3", but we'll do Fit Check now. Oh, I gotta lift the monitor up. That'll do. Still cut off my head here. So, front shot, side, rear, side. Now, like I said, this shirt is very slim. This hugs the bottom part here. This part I do not care for much, but this is where, right? This is either a combination of loose skin and belly fat. As I like jiggle at it, that is where I have that added. It's one of the reasons that I am very adamant on making sure I continue to lose body fat, because I believe this is where the rest of it is. But otherwise, this is as small as you're going to get when it comes to a shirt. Yes, I do have loose skin. I have loose skin on my neck. Oh, I'm going to bring this down here. I have loose skin on my neck, as you can see. I have loose skin on my upper thighs, on my lower belly, obviously, and my inner thighs. It's one of the reasons that I lift weights. Lifting weights, I feel like, first of all, adding muscle helps with metabolism, but at the same time, hopefully continuing to build muscle helps with the loose skin. Like I said, there's the flex. Anyway, hopefully it helps with things like that, which is why I do what I do. So that is fit check. This Fiesel one. I see you in chat there. Anyway, that's the flex. So at this point, I will do Q&A. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask now. If there's anything you wanted to say specifically, please feel free to chime in. We'll probably maybe take 15 minutes tops, because I do have to get going, because I still have another live stream later today and I have other work that needs to be done. In the meantime, if any of you are looking for additional help when it comes to weight loss, fasting, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or you're looking for an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one coaching session with me. We can go over goals. I can put a game plan together for you. I can put a strategy together for you. But more importantly, I can hold you accountable. If you're looking for an accountability partner, an accountability coach, that's usually what I like to promote, because most of us already know how to lose weight. Most of us already know that fasting is going to provide success. Most of us already know that eating healthier, limiting calories, keeping foods clean is going to provide weight loss success. Most of us know this already, but a lot of people have a harder time with the accountability, especially showing up for yourself during the hard moments. If there is one thing that I see more frequently in my coaching sessions than anything else, it's that a lot of people, when they're having a difficult time, they don't want to show up anymore. They just turn their backs away from it and walk away. And I want people to remember, there's no judgment, there's no shame, there's no embarrassment. We all have those moments. It's okay. And that's why I like to have those coaching sessions, because I do feel like in hard times like that, can we change the way you think so that you can show up, even if it's not all the time, just to show up for yourself and be like, here, I'm here, Jerome. Okay, let's have a discussion. I don't want to be here. I don't really want to talk about it. But I would say you'd be surprised at how much you can change about yourself if you can just show up during those hard times. Anyway, finallyfasting.com if that's something you might be interested in. At the same time, if any of you want to contribute in a different way, you can also be part of the Finally Fasting fam. If you go to the link in the live stream, or if you go to the link in the description of this live stream, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. What does that mean? That means that you will get a green color next to your name, a little emoji next to your name that looks like this right here. You'll get your name at the intros of the live streams, and you get to use custom emoji, like I'm sure you've seen people use throughout the chat here. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go to the link in the description of this live stream. If you join the higher tier, then you can join us later today at 4:30 p.m. Central, where we have a group coaching session. So it's not just me on camera. Other people will hop on. We share a communal spreadsheet where we all have our own individual goals. We all support each other. We all push each other on into another successful week. So if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to take a look at the link in the description of this live stream. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I am going to see what questions might be here. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up a little bit. Cheyenne says, binging on your videos, you're giving hope. You're very welcome, Cheyenne. Cheyenne says, can you explain the 3 rules again? Pretty please. Are you talking about the 3-minute rule? That's an old rule that I put out. I still think it has a lot of credibility. So sometimes if you're talking about the 3-minute rule, Cheyenne, and for anybody who maybe doesn't know this, I put a video out about this a while ago, but sometimes people don't know how long they should refeed for. My advice to anyone today is when it comes to your refeeding time, meaning how long you should eat for after you break your fast, I would say whatever's comfortable for you. Because sometimes people could have an 8-hour refeeding time, but keep the calories in check. But if you're like me, where the calories are very hard to keep in check, where you eat a ton of volume, sometimes I tell people, listen, take the hours that you fasted for and multiply by 3. Again, I don't know if this is the question you're asking for, Cheyenne, but is it Cheyenne or Cheyenne? Either way, let me know. So for example, if you were to fast for 90 hours, like I typically do, or like I did in the past, that's 270. If you take 90 times 3, if I fasted for 90 hours, multiply by 3, that's 270 minutes. Divide that by 60, you got 4.5 hours of a refeed. If you're only fasting, for example, for let's say 23 hours for an OMAD, that's about an hour refeed. You get that hour because if you think about it, that's 1 hour to eat after fasting for 23 hours. And if you're a high volume eater like me, maybe all you need during that time is about 1,500 to 2,500 calories, maybe less than that, depending on how much of a deficit you're trying to put yourself in. And if it's something in the middle, the math kind of works itself out there. So of course, those numbers can be completely out of hand if you do like a much longer fast, but the rule kind of stands when it goes by that. I think it's just a good, again, you don't have to do it set in stone. It's not set in stone, but it's a good guideline. So hopefully that's helpful in that way. Hi, Sharika. Nice to see you in here. BMJ, it's nice to see you in here as well. Margaret asks, and I think I saw a comment that Aisha wasn't going to be here for the rest of the live stream. So Margaret's asking, what time will you be live streaming tomorrow? Good question, Margaret. Let me double check. For people wondering, this question comes up pretty frequently because I live stream every day. Now, I will say I will not be live streaming every day forever, but actually it probably won't be daily coming soon, but I will still be trying to live stream more frequently. Tomorrow, tomorrow we might do an earlier one. I would say tomorrow anywhere between 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. So again, wait. No. I have an eye doctor appointment then. We might keep it maybe, I would say between 12:30 p.m. then. So somewhere between 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., Margaret. Central time, anyone who's wondering, 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Central. Race car says, looking good, brother. Thank you so much. Almost 60 hours into my first 72-hour fast. Congratulations, race car. Has been okay and felt fine. Definitely see the weight going down. I love that for you, race car. What's the plan after the 72? Is it to push another? And again, remember, you don't have to if you don't want to. If after doing this 72, it feels like a lot, then maybe it's to cut that in half. Maybe it's to do an OMAD. Maybe it's to do a couple OMADs until you're ready to push a longer one. Congrats, Race Car, on getting 60 hours in. Keep us posted on your journey. Thank you for sharing with us. Tanya says, hey, family, I had a bad day yesterday, but hit the timer. I'm sorry you had a bad day, Tanya, but proud of you for hitting the timer. Sometimes it's just doing something as simple like that to keep your brain wired to get into the habit. Thank you for sharing, Tanya. The Immortal Khan. How's it going, The Immortal? Woohoo! Day 3. I showed up. I love that for you, The Immortal. What are you currently working on? What are you doing? Do you want, I mean, you don't have to share with us if you don't want, but I'm just a little curious on my end. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. I see a lot of people now talking about the 3-day fast. That was your question. You're very welcome. Is it Cheyenne or is it Cheyenne? I don't think you told me. I just want to know for next time. Hi, Chell. Nice to see you in here. Hello, hello. Everyone, that's it. I think I shared what I did for the day. Tonight, I'm going to be, wait, why am I, actually, I forgot to share this. Did I not share this? Maybe I did. Currently, I am 41 hours fasted. I completed another round of ADF and I will be breaking tonight. Hopefully my calories will be under 3,000. That's my goal. My protein above 190. If I don't hit that number, I'm not going to feel bad about it in that way. I'm not going to toss everything aside and then eat 3,000 additional calories. I'm still going to go for my walks. I'm still going to lift weights. Because why? Because I trust the process. Because why? Because fasting isn't everything. Because why? Because working out is still good for you. Cardio health is still good for you. Strength training and putting muscle is still good for you. Sleeping well is still good for you. Don't throw away the day just because one thing didn't go according to plan. Remember that as you push on your journey. Cheyenne. Hopefully I said that right. Tommy. Hi, Tommy. Tommy, it's been a minute. How are you, Tommy? Hopefully everything's doing well. It's nice to see you all. Sydney, I see you in here as well. No, I only caught the end. Sorry, Sydney. Next time. Although I'm live streaming earlier tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll see you then either. But either way, thanks for stopping by today. That's all I got today, everyone. I appreciate you all being here today. A special thanks to Miss Peaceful One for the super chats, to GYSD as well for the super chats, and for L for the super sticker. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for supporting me in an additional way. It's funny. I've been doing this for a while now. I feel like I should have this automatic, but sometimes it's a lot of talking for an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. Miss Peaceful One, L, GYSD, thank you for your additional support today. To all my Finally Fasting fam members who are part of the Finally Fasting fam, thank you so much for your support as well. I appreciate that so much. And then to all my everyday regulars who are here, who are kind and supportive and are helping answer questions and are just preaching health and happiness to everyone. Thank you for that. I thank you so much because you're keeping this community going. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. Okay, that's all I got. If you are part of the autophagy tier, if you're part of that fam, we will be live streaming today at 4:30 p.m. Central. So in about an hour and a half, I'm going to get that up in a minute for all of my autophagy members. And if you are not an autophagy member, then I'll see you tomorrow. Fair enough? Okay, that's all I got. There goes my big breath in. So at this point, I'm going to do my obligatory wave and we'll do this again tomorrow. Until then, remember, you're not alone. Stay accountable. I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.